What's going on, fam? It's your boy Sydney from thenakedgardeners.com. In today's video, we're reaching a temperature that most first-time gardeners don't know about, and we're getting to a frightening number that first-time gardeners are gonna kind of afraid about. We got to start taking care of the animals and our garden because of this number.
Nosy butts. See face lips.
Y'all think that's for y'all?
I think everything is for them.
Move out the way. Seriously.
Come on, baby.
Can y'all move? Move. We're out the way. Get out the way. Watch out, girl. We're not going to be keeping these sheep in here with the chicken anymore. We thought it was a good idea, but it's not. They wind up eating a lot of their oh, you're getting bossy. They wind up eating a lot of the chicken fermented feed, so we can't have that because we need our eggs. Can you take this?
Girl. What am I doing with it?
Trying to lure them.
Come on, girl. Come on. Come here, baby. They did the math.
No. No.
Yeah, every time I collect eggs, they try to get in there and grab that hay that's in there.
Go to mama. Go to, look at her.
Look at that. Here you go. Here you go, baby. Here you go, baby. My breakfast.
So we did that because a lot of the chicken didn't feel comfortable laying on those artificial turf. So hopefully with that hay that we put in there, it'll help keep the eggs cleaner and have them feel a little bit more comfortable. We're gonna do that with the rest of the chickens as well, except for one. Since their nesting box has a rollaway nesting box, I am gonna put some of this hay in their coop to kind of keep their feet dry. Hopefully that will help them Whew, it's a lot of work. Hopefully that will help them stay dry, stay healthy, and help with the egg laying. Even though right now we're barely getting 12 hours of daylight, so egg production is pretty much down. We're just basically trying to keep them healthy. I got that in. We'll probably wind up leaving this coop here for a few days and just continue adding some more of this hay in here, and that way will this be break down. And after we move them from this area, probably next week, they've been in here for 2 weeks now. We're in the slow growing season with the American breast. They don't tend to tear up the grass as much. So I got that all spreaded out. I didn't have to worry about the nesting box here because we got the hen gear rollaway egg nesting box, and we don't have to worry about them going up inside there pooping and laying. I mean, they do poop in there, but we can wash those out. They have a sprayable wash mat in there. We're eventually going to add another one of these on our green fire American breast coop because that coop it needs some help. Let me show you. Here is our green fire American breast coop. As you can see, it's just nasty. The missus tried to have something on top, that chicken wire on top, but they still wind up getting on top of there. What needs to be done is this to be laid out straight because they're just plopping on here, so it needs to be tight like that to keep them from nesting on top of that. But I'm fine the way it is for right now because we're eventually going to be purchasing that other hen box. All right, so I got that done. The only thing I did different from our original American breast flock was I added the hay in the nesting box. I just kind of threw a large bale in there and kind of fluff it up around a little bit. Eventually the hens, once they get in there, they'll make it to their custom way, how they like their own nesting box. Next we got to do is we're gonna have to move these meat birds, these Cornish cross. We have to move these birds off of their poop because they poop a lot. And then since we're going to be getting to these temperatures that everybody hates on when they're homesteading or gardening, I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Is we're gonna have to move them, spread some of this on there. I might eventually have to put some heating lamps in there. I know a lot of people are kind of against heat lamps, but use what you got if you're doing homesteading like this. And then find some type of way to block the wind off of them, because even though I think they're there 4 weeks now, 3 or 4 weeks now, they're fully feathered, but still once these temperatures get to where they're at, we want to make sure that all of them survive. These girls should be kidding about the end of this week, Saturday, November the 4th. What we're going to do with them, by Wednesday, Mrs. Naked Gardener is going to be putting their nesting box in there. We're not going to use this particular hay. We're going to be trying to use a compressed straw that we got from the big box store, and putting that in there to see if what they call is stashing their hay. What they do is the does will grab some of the hay and start making their nest in their box. It's going to be quite cute. If you're new to the channel, we do a lot of raise a lot of animals on this homestead, from egg layer chickens, egg laying ducks and geese, to meat birds and rabbits and sheep, along with growing our garden, hence the name of the Naked Gardeners. That's where we started off with. But I got to build another nesting box for herself. The other 3 girls, original girls, already have nesting box. They're already proven mothers. This one, we don't know if she took or not. If not, she will definitely try. We'll definitely try to rebreed her again on the next rotation, about 3 to 4 weeks after they have their babies. So the ducks, they love moving day when we're moving our meat birds or even our egg layers and stuff, because they're the only ones that free range. And they know that the chickens are very messy, so they'll leave around some snacks or anything like that. So we got the hay down on as a dry bedding for them to kind of help them stay dry. Eventually we're going to get some straw. I got Mrs. Naked Gardener looking for some straw, asking some neighbors around where they're getting their straw. Normally we will be trying to get it in the second week of November, but like I said, with Tuesday temps coming up, we are going to have to start bearing down the hatches now. When I looked at the 10-day forecast, we wasn't supposed to get anywhere below 36. Now it's getting even lower than that. So now I just need to keep the wind off of them. I'm gonna show you how I do that right now. So I was in the shop and I found some old panels that we haven't used in a while. Some basically some scrap panels. What I'm thinking about doing is putting it across here to act as a wind barrier, and we'll try to see if we have enough to do all the way around the sides. If not, at least the middle and the back portion, and maybe even to the front portion, to help prevent the wind to be on them. Because as long as we do that, I think we should be good on protecting the birds. So it's going to be a change of plans. That was the only piece that we had. Luckily we found this. This is going to be a temporary fix. We're going to put it at the back end and secure it that way. Hopefully it fits. This should be enough.
Is it sideways the other way?
Mm-hmm.
Turn it? Is it the same size both ways?
Yeah.
Do you need to rip it, or
No.
will this piece go on the end?
Yeah, I think I'm going to rip that in half.
Well, I think this will fit on the end better than that. This fits on the end better. Just need a hole.
Or I could just do it like this.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't even have to.
So we won't need to move them until after Tuesday?
Yeah. We'll just keep on putting some more of that straw, that hay bale on there.
Okay.
And I think I might try to, I was telling the viewers, try to hang a heat lamp on here to kind of keep them warm.
Do we have an extension cord that will reach over here?
Mm-hmm.
I think we could do that.
Yeah.
And do it in the corner that's covered the most.
Yeah, and then we could put that board over here.
Yeah, we
put
can
that
just
tarp.
lean it. Yeah, we can just lean this board here, and we have another board in there that we can just lean on the other side.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. That way it's like very temporary.
Yeah.
I don't think you even need screws.
No, I think we could just lean that against this.
Yeah.
That was very strange. I've never seen two hens fighting like that. And then even Tomahawk was trying to get into it at first, and then she saw that the other ducks was eating that leftover food and stuff, and she just went over there. Feels warm in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I got these from Premier One. There have been some great clips, because the clips that we've had, once whatever, like a feeder tray, once it gets too heavy for some reason and stop working, we were using these, and these were working great at first, but after you try to move them and then adjust them, I guess the weight right here just makes them not usable anymore.
There is a metal one that's okay.
Yeah, but those are a little bit more expensive. So I found that these from Premier One are like tension grip driven, and so it's basically you just feed it through here and then feed it through the other side. And then just put a little knot on there so it won't go back through. And then you can have your hook on here, and that way you can adjust as way it needs to be, whether you need to go higher or lower. This is just grit, and what this basically does is, since the poultry doesn't have stomachs like we do, they have a gizzard, and what these small little grit rocks will do is help churn the food and help them be a lot more productive, and that way we won't have any issues. Help decrease with any issues.
Didn't we learn how important that was?
Through APA.
Yeah.
But it seems like they got adjusted, and it's real nice and warm in here.
No, I kind of want to hang out in here.
Yeah. Let me see that temperature thing. We have these, we have 3 of these sensors for us to monitor for whatever location that we have our brooder at. Since it's not really a brooder, it's our coop, we're going to put it in here just to see how well it is heated with these 2 heat lamps and without the wind guard. Where should I put it at?
You're probably going to need to... So, just grab a zip tie and zip tie it around that. And probably to where it sits on this, rests on that lip right there, so that they can't knock it loose. They'll try to find a way anyway. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then we just need to put batteries in the sensor inside the house.
All right. Now that the animals are taken care of, now we have to take care of the perennials that's in this garden and start moving a lot of these fruit trees inside to protect them from the frost that's coming. This is the number that a lot of first-time gardeners don't know about, and that is the first frost date. Normally ours is around Thanksgiving, about middle of November to around Thanksgiving, the 17th. It's not really our official frost that's going to come this Tuesday, because it is going to warm up later on. However, we still want to be protective about it. Most of these peppers and tomatoes are going to be gone anyway, so what we're going to do is harvest all of the fruit off of those, prune it down, put some mulch over it, put it into the shop with the rows that we have. Even though the brassicas are considered frost hardy, they're still in the tender age, the teenager age, so they are frost tender. They will get damaged through the little light frost that we're going to happen, so we're going to also have to protect those. We're running out of daylight, so we're going to see how much we can get done by the end of today. Tomatoes could possibly be a perennial for maybe in zone 9 or 10. I'm not sure. So far, all I know is peppers, maybe okra could be as perennials. Most likely, I would say just don't take your chances on anything just for just the peppers itself.
Do you think that this is going to ruin our okra? It's the first time we've had a freeze this soon.
We'll see. I don't even like that okra. I forgot what kind of brand.
It was a Cajun jewel.
Yeah, I didn't too much care for it. It was the thick wall, and it doesn't do very well for pickling. It's great for if you're eating it raw or maybe breading it and frying it, but we like it pickled.
Moving forward, I only want Clemson.
Yeah, we want the spineless Clemson okra. That's the one that we're going to be using moving forward. Maybe the Star of David if we're going to bread them and fry them, but I'm not sure.
I don't do that enough. I don't care.
Okay, so Clemson's spineless it is. So I think we have some pallets already inside there. Mm-hmm. We got the cart right there. We're going to start moving a lot of these. No, actually, let's do this first, because we got time for that. I could do that later on tonight. Let's go ahead and harvest a lot of the rosemary, the lavender,
basil.
The basil.
Did you see how many peppers you have over there?
Yeah, and let's harvest a lot of the long cayenne peppers.
Do you think I need to harvest the calabaza squash?
At least before Tuesday. Ugh. Yeah,
one of them looks like it's ready. It's kind of browning.
Yeah, whether they're ready or not, I think before Tuesday you might need to do it. because that vine is going to probably be dead. I know. I don't know what we're going to do with our loofahs, because that one over there is got so much loofah and vines on it, it's just collapsing the arch trellis. Another reason why we're not going to do the one T-post trellis anymore. We're going to do 2 on each side. It's just a lot durable and stable for the structure. Ooh, these this is our I think it's a black currant. But either way, it looks like it's growing some buds here.
Yeah. Does that like the cooler weather?
I don't know. I know it's considered, it grows very well under what they consider a understory for permaculture. So under taller trees, it's best to grow these because it doesn't like direct sun.
Are you gonna put it in the high tunnel?
Yeah, anything I put in here, I'll put in the high tunnel.
Okay.
So we did a lot of stuff, but we couldn't capture because it keeps on raining off and on. And water and camera does not go too well. Oh, that's not good. We had to come inside because it kept on raining off and on. We didn't get a lot of good footage of it because water and camera does not go well. So what I kind of give you a rundown what all we did. We took a lot of those fruit trees and plants and harvest a lot of the long cayenne peppers and put those into the greenhouse. Then we took some mulch and spread that out where they were currently at, because come spring, we're going to have new beds, in-ground beds right there, because we do a lot of no-till gardening. And Mrs. Naked Gardener, she harvests a lot of the calabaza. That's how you say it. She harvests a lot of the calabazas and the trombonzino squash and some tomato plants. We also harvest a lot of the basil. I took some of the rosemary and the lavender. I cut those down and I put mulch on top of it, so it kind of give it a greenhouse effect. So we have a lot of tomatoes in the freezer that I think I want to do one weekend. If Mrs. Naked Gardener doesn't harvest or use them all, use that rocket pot and make a big old tomato sauce, since we got harvest all that basil, and then we got some onions here that we can use, incorporate that to make a nice tomato sauce. Now with that, do you have to water bath or pressure can? Well, I think water bath, don't you, since there's a lot of acidity?
If there's a lot of acidic elements, then it's water bath. If there's not acidic elements, then it's pressure can. There's people that are on both sides of the fence with that, but with the way that I would do it, it would be water bath. Okay, so we're going to do some water bath because next year, I know Mrs. Naked Gardener doesn't like it, but I want some spaghetti squash because I love pasta, and I'm trying to stay... I want to kind of stay away from carbs next year. You don't want my duck egg pasta?
Well, yeah, I'd take some of that duck egg pasta because that was pretty good. And I wish we had some duck eggs, because right now we can be making some chicken noodle soup with that.
Okay, by the time that we have some spaghetti squash to harvest, I will make sure that we have a bunch of duck egg pasta that you can compare it to and see what you like more.
Okay. But anyway, we, for a lot of y'all that's in the first year gardening, this is the weather that we're almost getting close to, where most gardeners and homesteader hate, is that below freezing point is what we call our first frost. Once it gets down to that temperature, most of your plants will just die off. Some even of your cold hardy and frost hardy plants will also die off. What we probably will have to do, like I said, we have some young tenderoni collard greens. What we'll probably wind up doing is putting some stakes throughout those 2 beds and using the greenhouse frost cover blankets over them, so that way we can protect them from the frost. Hopefully after this week, after Tuesday, we can uncover them so that way they can continue growing. I don't think we're going to have collard greens from our garden this Thanksgiving, because the way something that's keep on harvest, or
second year in a row.
I know, but we will have some for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
We better. But if y'all are interested in knowing how we started this garden as a no-till garden, we did a video about that. We'll put that off to the side and also in the description down below. Until the next video, let's grow together.